So TikTok is gone, eh? How are you feeling? Now what? I'm a person that was only new to TikTok. I've only been on TikTok for about a year, so I didn't have half the connections, half the followers, half the influence from the app that I know many people have over these last 5 years. So before I get into my own BS, my heart is with you. If you were earning compensation from the app, if you are one of those people who you don't connect well with others, so the app was a means of community for you, or for many of us, answers we had been looking for years, maybe in very professional and medical environments, and meeting a wall, finally gaining answers by one click, one scroll, one share, whatever. So my heart definitely goes out. But now what? If you're a content creator, this is the time that you don't sit down and curl up and die. If anything, you continue to push out your content, you figure out different ways to get it out. YouTube is a slow growing um, platform, meaning you will have to do lots of really good content consistently in order for you to monetize here or gain followers or fame or what have you, which leads me to something else. Why the need for fame? Why does everyone want to be famous? We've all gone through it at one phase or time in our life of wanting to be famous or wanting to be well known or wanting to, attach our name and our legacy to something that lives beyond us. But what we learn is, as life goes on, it's not necessarily about the fame. It ain't even about the legacy. If you've been able to change, affect, or positively impact just one or two people's lives with your influence, with your words, with your knowledge, with your expertise, then you have lived. You've done what your soul's work was. So, I want whoever this falls on to realize that, like, you are the star. Everybody is a star. That song is real. Like, you don't need a following or people telling you, oh, you're so amazing. I forgot whose quote it is, but if you live by their praise, then you will die by their rejection and or complete avoidance when they're just no longer looking at you. And we can all take a note from that when we look at celebrities, how they rise and then they fall, they rise and they fall. And a lot of that definitely does have to do with alchemy that they are infusing themselves. But it's just the way that love goes. It's just the way that the world goes. I'm in love with this idea. I'm in love with this phase. I'm in love with this person. It will soon die off because I'll be in love with something new. So don't look for validation in other people. I was hacked on my page that was an 8-year-old page. It was last October 2024, and I was hacked at almost 38,000, 37,000 followers, and it was ego blow. I took a very big ego blow because, again, I was on a stage. I was well known. People were coming to me for, all of my metaphysical expertise. But I was so grateful a few days later, not at the moment, that I had gotten hacked and that I was now having to redirect my energy. I've gotten so many things achieved and done because now on my new Instagram page, I'm basically at the bottom of the map again. I'm having to rebuild my clientele. I'm having to rebuild my following. I'm having to rebrand myself because Instagram looks nothing how it looked when I first started my brand 8 years ago. It's not the same energy. You're not, it's just not growing the way that it did. So that's good though, because I've been able to take all of my energy and all of my attention off of that outside avenue and completely pour it into my Patreon brand, or my Patreon community rather, and other things I have in my personal life that are going on that are amazing. So I'm grateful for it. So I am sitting here as a testimony to anyone else who might be going through that same kind of shell-shocked ego blow. What am I going to do? I've seen multiple people say, oh, I had 330,000 followers on TikTok and, now I don't know what I'm going to do. Or, I have built my entire brand off of TikTok and I don't know what I'm going to do. Most people built their brand off of TikTok and then they built a website and some other outsourced platform so that their people can stay in touch with them regardless. I mean, that's how they were able to grow. But that's the most important thing to do. You never want to use these third party organizations as a means to survive. It's fun, cute, and convenient at the very beginning. But if it's really something that you enjoy and that you've been able to change your financial means by, you can't depend on someone else. Instagram changed as soon as they learned that we were making so much money off of Instagram, off of a free platform. If you had a brand, you were able to make a lot of money off of Instagram without having to pay them anything. So then they had to influence, or introduce other ways to influence us to want to stay there, because they're going to take our traction away. We're going to get hacked, and Instagram's not going to help you retrieve your page, even though you have all the proof of you are the person. They don't care, because it's about money. TikTok was figuring out how to get their coin. I don't know. I never got paid from TikTok. But TikTok figured out how to get their coin and pay their person. So I know that it was big for people, but it also was just a distraction. Yes, we learned a lot on Patreon. I mean, on TikTok, but a lot of the information that was shared on TikTok, I've already been hip to a decade prior to. It was nice to see the masses be able to access information, or the masses be able to take information from other resources. So for the first time in a long time, I didn't seem crazy or look crazy. But what you do now with this space, because we are going into Inauguration Day, which is another ritual. We're going into MLK Day, which is another ritual. You have to ask yourself, why is there not a Malcolm X Day? I mean, he was assassinated. He was slain. Why is there not a Malcolm X Day? And it's because Malcolm's people are real. His wife was a real person with a real soul. No disrespect, but you can't ask the same government who slain your husband to then give a holiday to pay homage to your husband. So, it's all a ritual. I tell my clients for at least 2 years at this point. This is the pivotal point. This is when you take your power back. This is when you give your energy to something that you know you can create, and that you know it will come out with an outcome that you want. Using your vibration, using your focal energy, using whatever you heavily focus upon will materialize. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. Abraham Hicks. All you must simply do is focus and desire, and it will attract that outcome. It ain't saying that it won't come with a little strife. It ain't saying that it won't come without a little pain. But it will materialize. You just got to go through it. Another thing about all of these apps, not just TikTok, but with all of these apps and the time that we live in, everything is microwavable. Oh, I did it for a little bit. I want a big reward. But you have to do things sometimes with longevity and long-term planning and goals and structure in order for it to make any difference in your life. So keep creating your content. Run over to Red Note. I mean, I'm on Red Note, but again, I'm a millennial. Okay, I have built and destroyed many social media communities. I don't have it in me. But that's because now, like many millennials, I am building my real life. I am building my real life, the life that was deprived of me because I was following the fake American dream. We millennials are that last batch of kids who did everything we were supposed to do. We did everything we were supposed to do. We graduated. We went and got jobs. We went and got careers. We went and bought houses. We did everything. We got married. We did everything we were supposed to do. And now all of us are on the other side of that shit. Like that wasn't it. Y'all lied. Y'all lied to us. So, like many millennials, rebuilding my real life that has nothing to do with a screen. That has nothing to do with a screen. That has nothing to do with intangible people or things. I want to be able to see it, touch it, taste it. And when I reflect back on it, be like, that was me. I did that. My energy did that. So I just want to come in here and drop my 2 cents. Things that you can do to benefit yourself, though, at this point. Find community. Build your own community. You will not be the only one sad that TikTok is closed. So you can more than likely start a good community right now. Threads is growing. I know it's owned by X, but hey, everything is owned by Meta. So either get in on that ship or don't get in on that ship. I've always been on that ship. I never got off that ship. Probably won't get off that ship. I've just retracted a lot of my energy. Like, I don't post on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I am on Threads, but I made one post on Threads in November, and I said, the thing is, I have been building too many social media sites, so I'm not building another one. That's my first and only post on Threads. I'm sticking to it. Got other shit to do. And so do you. Read a book. Read a book. That thing that you've been thinking about for all these years that you wanted to accomplish. That thing you've been dreaming about for the last 2 years that you wanted to accomplish. It's time to get into it. What are you waiting for? 2025 is year 9. 9 is astrologically a ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio is ancient, ruled by Mars. Aries is modern day, ruled by Mars. So that makes 2025 a dual ruled year of Scorpion and warrior energy. So a Scorpion warrior, Scorpion king or queen. Um, and whatever is brought together will be impenetrable, and whatever's taken apart, it will be the same. This is a year of completion and surrender and forgiveness and AI changes and currency developments and government shifts, like everything that's already transpiring is very on brand for what already has been written. So I encourage you to not only read a book, but whatever you felt like you were so intrigued by on TikTok, now go deep dive on it. Compare and contrast what you thought you found. I know a lot of people were saving and downloading and do what you got to do, but empower yourself at this time. Do not get stuck. Do not be a worry wart. Do not believe everything that you see. Even a lot of what you see that you can prove has been fabricated. So pour into your own energy. Go within. You are the alchemist. You are the sorcerer. Continue to transmute. Continue to become what it is that you know you want to be. And everything is going to be all right. Not to mention Pluto's in Aquarius. Finally settled in there, but it's going to take about 2 years for it to fully settle in. And Aquarius is technology and groups, organizations, the shifts of groups and organizations, completely modifying your dreams and wishes for the future. So, link in my bio for my Patreon community. We've been almost 6 years strong, 5 years strong, 5 or 6. I gotta count. Lord willing, we will be another 5 to 10 years strong. So get in where you fit in, empower yourself, recall your power back to you, and you got life to live. You got dreams to attain. Don't mourn too long.